Welcome back to Allaquin, a place caught in perpetual twilight where extremes of heat and cold vie for dominance, and humanity clings to the narrow band of habitable land between a scorching desert and an icy wasteland. This is a world locked in the eternal struggle of survival, where life is both a blessing and a curse, dictated by the harsh realities of its environment. Overseeing this delicate balance is our supreme leader, Coco Yoy. Once a freedom fighter and revolutionist, Yoy's rise to power was fueled by promises of reform and prosperity. Charismatic and cunning, he used his influence to topple the old regime, only to replace it with his own iron fisted rule. Publicly, Yoy is a figure of strength and resolve, but away from prying eyes, he indulges in the luxuries of his hard won power. His tastes are extravagant, his hobbies eclectic, and his appearance increasingly androgynous, reflecting on a complex personality that thrives on both control and excess. Yoi's regime, known as the Yowani regime, is enforced by the loyal Kondai military and the dreaded Horan secret police. The Kondai are the visible arm of Yoi's power, maintaining order and defending against external threats. Their presence is a constant reminder of the regime's might, their uniforms bearing the sinister emblem of the state. Meanwhile, the Horan operate in the shadows, rooting out dissent and ensuring absolute loyalty through fear and surveillance. They are the silent enforcers of Yoi's weapons prohibition, making sure that no whisper of rebellion goes unheard or unpunished without permit. The city of Dali, the heart of Allaquin, is divided into three distinct sectors, each reflecting the extremes of its unique habitat. Closest to the icy wastelands lies Dali Hamara, where cold-resistant agriculture and research facilities push the boundaries of what can be grown and developed in frigid conditions. It's a place where the biting cold is a constant companion. On the other edge, facing the searing desert, is Dali Helios. Here, heat-resistant crops and solar farms dominate the landscape, harnessing the relentless energy of the sun. The air shimmers with heat, and life here thrives on the sun's intensity, turning the heat into Coco's most powerful commodity. Between these two extremes lies the central hub, Dali Nix, where the majority of the population resides, within a bustling capital that never sleeps, a sun that never fully sets, bathed in an atmosphere of perpetual dusk. The Tasogara estate, once home to the old Allaquin council, now crowned the Yowani estate, sits atop the city, a luxurious fortress where Yoy holds court, a symbol of his absolute power, a place of opulence and strategic command. In the heart of Nyx, the Dali Bazaar pulses with life. Here, traders and artisans gather, selling everything under the stars from the watchful eyes of state officials. A vibrant center of commerce and culture, tightly regulated to ensure the regime's control over every transaction and trade. Allaquin is a place where survival means navigating the thin line under the shadow of Supreme Leader Yoi's regime. Its people live in a state of constant vigilance and adaptation, yet life finds a way to endure. Factions of rebels unite under the three elements, sun, Luna, and ice. These factions find a way to bring back the old order to Allaquin and keep Coco busy with their insurgency. This place is a melting pot of vultures, ripping apart what shreds of purpose they can gnaw. The indigenous Allaquins fighting for their farmlands, the Yowani settlers looking to dominate their cultural ways, and the gypsy mutts born here from the travelers who spend a credit or two on the natives. It won't be long before the Horan comes for me. My weapon permit is running out, and I have a feeling they're itching to place me in a cell at the Helios penal facility, cozy me up to some of the inmates I might have arrested back in the heydays. I don't think I'll get much out of these two now anyway. I'll have to see where we stand once I get through the next 24 hours. I can hear the whirring of the heli-carrier landing outside, the regimented footsteps of Coco's soldiers surrounding the security hut. A voice comes from the outside telling me to lay down my pistol and spread eagle on the floor. It's not long before lights out, and the raid begins when the tall dark shadows of the Horan enter the hut. Face masks lit up purple with two big black circles for eyes zooming in on me. You can't tell if it's some alien under there or the reflection of a helmet's visor. Either way, it's enough to make your kiddies wake up sweating at night. I'm black bagged, zipped from toe to tip, and thrusted into a stretcher straight onto the helicarrier. It's off to Helios for me. The force of Horan's gun hitting me in the back of the head means lights out.
Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I come to with the sounds of a strange voice rattling around in the bones of my skull.
You can hear me. Took a while to come around, but I think we finally have a connection. How's the cranium?
I'll survive. That you, Benny? I look up and around my new dwelling. Burning green into the back of my neck is a beam of light, ready to turn red should I move an inch in the wrong direction. I don't want to know what happens if it turns red.
Well, I do. Come on, let's see what happens.
You're picking up my thoughts now, Benny. I must be speaking out loud. My eyes widen. I look further around the room, stretching my neck as far as the beam will let me, teetering from green to red, back to green again.
I wouldn't move too much. Just keep your head forward for now till I can think of a way out of this situation.
You're not Benny. Who are you?
Well, that's the big question lingering over all of our heads this session. But I'll save the big mystery and let you know right away. I am your inner conscience.
The fuck you are?
I'm here, inside your head. From now on, riding shotgun, rattling around in here. But let's keep it calm. I'm here to help you, Haley.
Keach. No one calls me that.
Keach. Understood. While I tinker for a bit, you see what's in front of you.
I see a floating orb, moving side to side behind some bars. My vision is blurry, but I think I see photon rails. Those things will slice my hand off on contact.
Okay, let me think. The Helios region, it's a constant dust bowl of bad reception, right? And I'm guessing this prison base must run into tons of problems with the electrics. Perhaps even knocking loose that green beam of light that we don't want to turn red, am I right?
No. I've worked at this base, and they have these beams on separate grids. They charge that grid so even if the power goes out, it will stay active.
Okay, makes sense. Can't have prisoners running around every time the power goes out.
Who are you? Better yet, why can you hear my thoughts?
In time, all will be explained, I think. Anyway, let's get out of here, right? That floating orb thing, what is that? Okay, interesting.
I can hear what appears to be dice rattling around in my head as the mysterious voice mutters to itself. This trip gets more bizarre by the minute.
Let me explain. I'm rolling your conscious dice to decide the next sequence of events, including understanding the meaning of things and exploring world-building elements. This way, I can make choices that will keep you alive. Better yet, create an exciting adventure for you and me, and them. I can see how rolling dice in your head can be a little distracting, so we'll remove that element for now, but I'll still keep you in the loop as to the outcomes.
I feel sick. What the fuck is happening to me? It was at that moment the supplement orb flew directly to my lips and squirted a small ounce of water into my throat. A tray opens and a small talon places a pill against my upper lip and pauses.
Fascinating. That's its purpose, to keep you alive. Only feeding you and giving you enough water so you don't completely waste away over the countless years you might spend here. Some place, this, Keach.
Pursing my lips. Don't let me take the pill.
I've got you. So, I think then that the guard is going to come and check on you. The guards are opening the photon rails now, aren't they?
The photon rails fizzle out as the big metal bars lift up slowly. The orb droid places the pill back into its tray and zooms off in a hurry. Marching toward me are...
Let's roll.
4 Horan guards. How is this possible? You must be watching me. Are you watching me now?
Who are you talking to?
My imaginary friend. Fuck do you care?
How the mighty have fallen. You showed such promise before you went chasing demons.
It was at that point the guard took off his helmet, revealing my old work buddy, Phoenix. Committed many atrocities lately, Phoenix. You, Horan, pride yourself on that these days.
Please refrain yourself from pleasantries. Never was your strong suit. Listen to some wisdom now, Haley. Our Supreme Leader has prohibited the use and possession of weapons on Allaquin. Some may obtain a permit as you had, but your permit is no longer valid. Now if it were up to me, I would escort you back to the carrier and home to Nix. But you nearly killed those two men. Loyal guards of a luxury cargo line, no less.
Loyal. Those fucks took a dime and ditched their morals while workers siphoned off some of that luxury. I'm working a case. I need my pistol for when loyals like those try to shank me.
Nonetheless, you should have followed your permit's guidelines and adhered to the rules, Keach. Nah, we go back some. You and I were once buddies. I'm back.
What did I miss? Who's he? Quiet, I can't hear what he's offering.
Sorry.
I was just making a cup of tea. But I'm here now, so who is this?
Are you listening, Keach?
Phoenix is giving me an out, but this fucking voice keeps rattling around up here inside my head. I can't. Let me stop you there for a minute. Let's roll this to see if he lets you go or not. Maybe. What do you think he does? What's your offer, Phoenix? I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
We know why you were at Ward Haulage Depot. Now you can be of benefit to our regime.
Let me guess, the guards you're so fond of told you everything.
No, we brought in Rumi Olmec. After bending his will, he confessed his mistake in hiring the workers, and that he hired you to find and return the cargo.
Why are you paying such close attention to this?
The Supreme Leader understands that his strongest commodity is trade. Now luxury trade such as this is very valuable. In the right hands, this can provide a wealth of opportunity for our enemies. Not only that, but if this were to get out to the public, trust would waver. If we can't even keep our cargo safe, how do you suppose we keep them safe? This is exactly why the Horan must intervene.
Let me see what that job might be. Safe. Fear is what keeps the status quo around here. Justice doesn't mean deals and favors.
Are you saying no? Are we saying no?
Maybe I do this favor. I'll need the permit adjusted. Might have to shoot more guards.
You'll have marshal status. You will work outside the remit of the Horan, but employed by the Allaquin government.
Goody. Back in the blue.
I will debrief you personally, but not here. We don't want the spies to think we let you go.
It was at that point Felix signaled the other guards to rough me up. Looks like it's lights out once again. See you on the other side, Keach. Perhaps this voice will dissipate with a little head rocking.